Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of This is a Radio Show. It means so much to me that all y'all just tune in and listen every single week. I know we really kind of jump around with our topics and our genres and everything like that, but you are always here, and that always means a lot. So if this is your first time tuning in, we would love it if you joined us on the Discord chat. You can find the link to that in our link tree. You can find it in our Facebook as well as our Instagram bio. And we have a bunch of listeners over there chatting, shooting the shit, having a good time. And that's also where you will need to be to win our giveaway prize tonight. If you haven't entered our contest or you don't even know what this week's episode is about, we are going to be playing an interview that I did last night / early this morning with Dublink, Tennessee based dubstep artist, and they are going to be making their way up to Minneapolis, or actually not Minneapolis, St. Paul on August 19th. And we just had an awesome chat with them, and we're going to give away tickets to the show, a taco dinner with them, a signed poster, and a very limited edition hat. So if you haven't entered that yet, please run over to our social media pages real quick. We'll have that contest open till 8 o'clock. Tell your friends, jump in it. Just please, 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 please. We would really love it. The more folks enter, I don't know. It's just fun. It's just fun. Anyway, so Jenna and Brittany could not be here tonight. They're in the process of moving, but I have the next best option tonight. I have Hunter with me of Deep Focus Management.
Thank you, Alicia. Thank you for having me and helping me with this show. You've been just absolutely killing it, as always.
Yay, yeah. Thanks for coming and hosting with me. For those who don't know, Hunter is Dublink's manager and is also the one who kind of put together this upcoming show, as well as the other two shows that are happening in this little run, which I definitely dive in more about with TJ. But yeah, Hunter's here just to kind of shoot the shit and just talk about a little bit of everything. Hunter, you like this stuff, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Like I know you do. So I know some people it's kind of like pulling teeth to get them to do an interview or something, but I've never told us no.
No, I'm in full support of what you're doing with this as a radio show for sure.
Yeah,
you're killing it.
We have a lot of fun too. Well, let's get people started by playing. Let's play a little bit of an older song by Dublink to kind of set the mood, let people know what they're getting into. This song is called Smoke Up. It was a Street Ritual release. Do you have how long ago did this song come out?
This came out right when I launched Deep Focus, to be honest. Like I think it was in start of February.
Okay.
With Vale's label, Street Ritual.
Yes, I always forget that that's her label. I love that she has a label.
I remember we hung on to this tune for like almost a year, and we knew it was going to be released, but not for like a whole entire year.
And then to put it on Vale's label is like worth the fucking wait.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's play Smoke Up, give everybody a little taste, and see what's going on in the Discord chat. That was Snowstorms by Dublink, and I maybe shot myself a little bit in the foot. I was like, hey, Hunter, do you have anything to share about this track? And he goes, well, it came out around Christmas. Like, no shit. But yeah, I definitely like that one. A little more of a slower, chiller vibe going on there. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Hunter, I guess, like, we didn't even hear much from you before we got going. What have you been up to? Like, what's been exciting in the management world and the busy life?
Yeah, I'm actually taking on some new artists that I should mention. Spectre, I'm announcing that tomorrow. He just made a song with Dublink, a really big tune. Wakan actually just put it on their Liquid Stranger weekly playlist. Rewind 140 is the label that dropped that track.
Rewind 140. Awesome. Ooh, that's so exciting. That's an announcement coming out tomorrow?
Yep.
Ooh, okay.
So expanding the family a little bit.
Yes. And for those of you listening right now, and we'll be here throughout the whole thing, we have quite a bit of stuff, exclusive information that TJ also shared.
Oh,
So
yeah.
We have just a lot
Yeah, I
of good
mean,
stuff.
honestly, Dublink in general, other than this Midwest run that's coming up, there's a lot. There's like a full year of releases, a lot more shows to be announced. So it's getting really busy in the Dublink world for sure.
Yes. Well, yeah, let's maybe hit it with this interview. So, I actually, yeah, got a chance to talk to TJ last night. I was so thankful he was a talker. I had no idea what to expect. Sometimes when we're going into these interviews, sometimes they're like really happy to be there and they want to chat, which is like TJ. And then other times it's like a fucking dentist pulling teeth and you're just like, please, like give me something to work with. So this is definitely a very great informative chat. And yeah, Hunter, you haven't even gotten to hear it yet.
No, I'm
So
really excited to see what TJ has to say.
yeah, let's go.
A lot of you have
Yeah,
an upcoming event up here in the Midwest. How did to the
Oops.
Minnesota-based music scene?
Well,
I would honestly give a lot of that credit, if not all, to Hunter. Hunter was the one that reached out. Hunter reached out to us initially. I can't remember how many followers we had. It wasn't a lot, maybe around 1,000. And we were kind of thinking about like management would be cool to maybe have at this time, but we knew we were still really new and had never even had management ever like in our lives, so didn't even really know what that looked like. And yeah, it's kind of funny. And then Hunter just kind of reached out and asked us that question, like, "Hey, are you guys managed?" And we said no. And I don't know, it's just kind of like one of those things where we were like, "Well, this is something we were just talking about, like why not?" And he made it pretty easy where he was like, "You guys don't have to sign anything. We'll just try it out and see what happens." And the relationship just kind of blossomed like really easily after that, I would say. And so yeah, I mean, he was kind of our connection to over in that Midwest area for us and stuff. And yeah, it really started growing from that point. So
It was just divine timing, huh?
yeah, I would say honestly, like, I mean, we've always kind of talked about that. Everybody involved in this project and stuff. And, it's kind of been around since that time because I would say there's a lot of faces even like in the background that play a part in this project for sure. Um, so yeah, I would say that was definitely like the timing was right for that, and it's kind of been like that way for a lot of things with this project. I feel like more or less. So
Yes. What are some of those other divine timing moments y'all have had?
I would just say like kind of like shows that happen or like maybe certain EPs that like we've gotten and stuff like that and almost just kind of music that gets created like uh I would say like I would say between like me and Evan, like music, we create like just music on feeling and time. We're not really the type to like force ourselves to get in the studio. We both work full-time jobs as well. Uh, so, I mean, we really only make music when we can, I would say also. But even when we can, like, we're not really the type to like force it and stuff. So, which kind of just makes it feel like more of a moment, even when we're just creating like the stuff that we do create. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, I would say like even with certain shows that we've gotten and certain EPs and releases, it just all kind of I don't know. There's been, yeah, some certain ones that just kind of feels like, wow, this is like a weird timing for this to happen. Because maybe this is something we've talked about recently, or like try to quote unquote manifest, and like here it is. So yeah, it's been awesome.
Uh, that's ah, that gives me chills just hearing you talk about it. I love that so much.
Yeah, it really feels like blessings and stuff, and just like like a reassurance of we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, and everything's just happening the way it should be and stuff. Nothing's being forced and whatnot, so it just feels really organic. It has been so.
Yeah. So how do you and Evan know each other, and how did y'all get involved in doing this project together?
Yeah, so me and Evan met. Me and Evan met a while ago, just kind of like through the scene in Nashville, like going to shows and stuff. And then we weren't particularly like in each other's friend groups, but we would see each other out and whatnot, and we were mutual. I think he would come over to my like house from like time to time, like with his friend group, and I would be with another friend group, and we would just kind of collab and stuff like that. And I knew like he did music and whatnot. Um, at one point, I was trying to build a music studio in Nashville, and I was just kind of reaching out to anybody that I knew did music that maybe wanted to be interested in to like helping out like with that project. And Evan was the first person to really kind of reach out and be interested in it. So I brought him out there and we started cleaning up, and I I was kind of had went through like a whole thing where I was like in I had made dubstep like a little bit like before this point when I was working on the studio, and then I kind of was not at that point. So Evan was kind of asking me to like, if I was still making it on the side, which I was. I was actually just making hip hop and stuff at the time and working with some other people and engineering and stuff. So once I started showing him my dubstep that I was just kind of making on the side, he was like kind of encouraging me to like re-release some stuff and kind of get back in the scene. I was a little reluctant, but then like I just kind of thought about it and I was like, well, it'd be cool. What if we just like did something together just to see what happens, like not really take it too serious, honestly, at first, just to see like how it would be received in the scene and whatnot. And we released 3 songs like just a little bit after that. That was like around the end of 2019. And then it just really excuse me, it really just took off from there, and like blossomed, and I don't know, yeah, it's just kind of one thing led to another, and a show and then releases, and yeah, it's we've gone through quite a few changes and just ups and downs and a lot of stuff to kind of get where we've gotten now. But yeah, it's been awesome. It's been quite the journey, I'd say.
Yeah, and it sounds fairly organic, just like kind of like the creation process within itself.
Yeah, it really was nothing. Yeah, again, nothing was forced. It wasn't like, hey, you make music, I make music, let's try to like make this happen. It was just kind of like, you know, reconnecting with a buddy, him wanting to hear my music, and I was mutually, into his music and his style and stuff like that. So it was almost kind of like a no-brainer, and it was just like, yeah, like, oh, let's see what's happens type of thing. And yeah, just it snowballed for sure. So, and it's been amazing to see like where it's taken us and gotten us at this point and stuff. So
What elements of the sound do you feel like you bring to the table, and what elements of the sound does Evan bring?
So I would say like Evan brings a lot more of like the like soul and like spiritual kind of like ethereal aspect of like the whole kind of like the atmosphere and space that's created with the sound. I would say is like his biggest influence with everything. um and then I'm a drummer by nature and stuff. So, and hip hop was a big genre that I did for a while. So I would say like drum work and bass design and stuff is kind of where I came into play, and that's kind of where like we came together initially. Like, yeah, I was just kind of making like just stompy kind of 140 stuff, and I was just trying to like imitate that. I would say like, a lot of my like early a lot of my early influences were people like Prophet and Salty and Smith and some of those kind of people. um, and so yeah, Evan just kind of had came in with a different side, I guess. So that's where it's kind of clashed. And then, over the years now, he's taught me to kind of like tap into that side to where, now it's kind of we're both, I would say, like able to just kind of like bounce back and forth between each other's like tastes and stuff like that. So
Yeah, that would happen naturally as well.
yeah,
Impacting
yeah,
each
for
other.
sure.
Nice. So what is the scene? What is the bass music scene like in Tennessee?
It's it's good. I would say like it's had good years and bad, but not, I wouldn't say like the bad years were bad. I mean, I would say maybe like it's had good years and then more or less like dead years. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously like COVID, like nothing was going on and stuff, but then
Yeah.
like I would, I don't know. It's just like I feel like when I first started going to shows when I was really young, there was such a big scene, and then it just kind of it died off for a while, and then once I got around the age of, I don't know, I'd say mid 20s, somewhere around that, like it started coming back around, and that was with the resurgence of Sacred Hive and like Jared and like Soundhaven kind of like
Hmm.
people and stuff like that. Um, yeah, so like I would say like once he kind of started doing stuff, he was kind of like a, you know, a person to kind of like rebring that scene back. Because I mean, before that, I would see like maybe like Boogie T or like Ganja White Night like super early, like in the scene down there. So like I would say there was definitely like a scene back in the day, like way back. Like I got to see some really good shows. And then yeah, there's just a small little dead period. And then now to see some good shows again, you know. Currently I would say, you know, it's still okay. Like I would say you know, there's some underground people like kind of doing their own thing, and then I would maybe argue that you know, Sacred Hive and them are probably kind of like the leaders and bringing like maybe the top underground acts and
Yeah.
stuff like through the city and whatnot. So
That's cool. Yeah,
yeah,
I guess, when I think Tennessee, I know, and I'm this sounds so silly to say, but I just don't think electronic music. Like I
yeah,
definitely would
I,
think there'd be a good, obviously like country scene, but maybe I think more like bluegrass and folk and
see,
things like
that's the kind of that's the thing too, is like, so I kind of even had that misconception like young growing up here, is like I just kind of thought like, oh, it's country music city and yada yada. But then like once I was old enough to like go to the city and check out some places,
that.
you realize more or less people call it music city capital without just like the country in front. Like yeah, like country definitely is on the forefront, but once you've kind of like moseyed around and like find some bars, you'll basically like, once you find the bars that are 4 or 5 stories, and like the first one's like a country thing going on, but then like the next story is like punk rock, and then the next story is like hip hop, and then the next story is like EDM, and then the next story, like literally it's like
What?
4 or 5, yeah, like there, and then there's multiple types of those types of bars in Nashville. I'm talking like there's every kind of me. Where do you want to go? What kind of music do you want to hear tonight? Like we can find it. And like there's probably some good and like good music at that too. Like there's blues, there's bluegrass, there's like, I mean, there's every type of music you can think of is going on in Nashville. And not only that, 24/7. Like right, if I were to drive downtown right now, it's popping, like crazy popping. Like there's people everywhere, right? If they call it Nash Vegas, because I mean it really doesn't sleep. It's crazy. Nashville's fun. It's a cool fun town. If you have a local, you know, somebody that's kind of been here for a while to take you and show you some good spots, like it's a really cool fun town.
Well, I'll let you know when I'm booking that plane ticket because you have
Yeah,
me
for sure.
sold.
Yeah, let me know.
What other types of music are you into besides electronic music?
I mean, really, I would say everything, but I mean, maybe not like everything. I would say my other big genres for sure, hip hop, reggae, uh, I like old classic rock and some new rock too. I'm not super big on like metal and heavy metal. When I used to drum back in the day, I was kind of getting into it for a bit just to kind of like figure out the double pedal hits and like, you know, some of like the techniques for like how to drum and stuff. And I'm not like I don't hate it, but like I just wouldn't necessarily like search it out and put it on. But I don't know. I mean, I'll listen to country too. I like some country. So like yeah, and then just like old classic music too, like anything from like the Beatles or like Prince or like Jackson. I mean, you could put any of that kind of stuff on, and I'm gonna get down with it and like it and stuff. So my music palette's pretty open, I'd say.
Yeah. Um, um, I feel that way too. And I feel like also to be good at making music. Granted, I don't make music, but having a variety of influences does like positively impact like your expression in another one.
Yeah.
Um, so who are some of your like top artists that you're listening to right now? Any genre.
Mm. Oh man.
Who's your most searched artist on Spotify recently, or whatever like listening platform you use the most?
Let me just pull up my Spotify and just kind
Do
of like
it.
see what like catches my eye. I guess I've been listening to a lot of reggae lately. Like, so I have this playlist on Spotify. It's just called The Beach. And so anytime I come across a song, that could be anything like rock, country, reggae, hip hop, whatever, like EDM almost kind of flow stuff. Like, if it's just like if I can close my eyes and picture myself being on a beach, then I add it to this playlist. So it's just got like I mean, it's got like Morgan Wallen in here. Like, there's this girl that I just found. Excuse me if this is wrong, but I want to say she's from the Philippines or somewhere like that. But her name is Celine, Salin, and like she's a drummer, but she does like jazz composition stuff. Really good. I've been listening to her a lot lately. Um,
Is
hmm.
this a public playlist that you share, your beach one?
I I share Spotify with my girlfriend, and I assume this playlist is public. I could probably post it somewhere to share it for sure.
Yeah, we should post in the Discord chat when it's happening. I only
Yeah.
ask because that is like my favorite way to organize playlists myself. I
By
like
like
have
vibe.
Yes, I have a
Yeah.
playlist and it's just called Bus Songs. And
Okay.
it's all songs about like being on the road or like
Yeah.
home
Like in the
being a state of
car.
mind. Yeah, like but like
Yeah.
literal.
Yeah. No, I totally feel that. That's like
Uh,
it. That's, I mean, I'm a DJ, I guess. So like that's kind of naturally just how I, want to like do my playlist, I guess, and stuff. But it's cool because like this is just like an ongoing playlist that, I've been adding to over the years. Cause like I don't just add anything. It's usually a song that's like, it hits me where like I have to add this to the playlist type
yep,
stuff. So
it
I would
chooses
say
the
more or less
playlist.
though. I listen to hip hop like a lot on like the daily and anything from old to new and stuff. Like that's definitely my biggest category. So I like honestly like music kind of started for me because I just wanted I was like I all I wanted to do was learn how to record my vocals and then I was gonna like find free YouTube beats and then be like a rapper and start putting out raps. And like that's like how I actually started even figuring out how to want to get into music like engineering and that kind of stuff. Funny enough. So
Nice.
yeah. There's actually if people want to like go out and like find it, there's actually still like old like stuff on SoundCloud with me rapping on it and all my friends and stuff. If you look up Good Vibe Tribe and Tribe is TRYB, so basically like on there, if it says Taylor J anywhere, that's me. And like it's all basically all produced and engineered by me. All the beats on there from me. That's like all that I was doing. I mean, you can see the years when it was posted. So I mean, that's when I was like really heavily in doing that kind of stuff. And then I'm featured on some of those songs and rapping and stuff. So
Awesome.
that's one
So,
thing that we've kind of talked about with this project too, is starting to maybe like incorporate that, like me rapping and vocals and stuff, and it probably will happen. It's just gonna happen in the right time,
yep,
essentially. It's kind of like what we were talking about earlier. Everything happens at the right time for the right reasons and stuff.
yes.
So,
So it started with wanting to do vocals. And then where did drumming come into the picture?
um, I get yeah. So like, I was just like, let me think. Like, I guess like I used to just kind of like freestyle at like parties, like high school parties and stuff. And I was like, it was like I was that kind of kid, you know what I mean? But like I would get hyped up at like the parties and people were like, oh shit, like you're really good and blah blah. And then like it would go from like I would hang out with homies and we would just freestyle in the car. So it was just like rapping just kind of became like a normal thing. And like I don't know, people just kind of like started like telling other people like, oh, he's like the kid that raps and stuff. So then it was just kind of like validation in my head, like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm the kid that raps or whatever. So like I kind of just kept going with that. And then I don't know, I was just always interested in drumming. I had a couple other friends like growing up when I was really young. I played baseball like when I was really, really young, all growing up. And it was honestly that was gonna be like high school. But then I was just kind of burnt out, I feel like. And I knew the route that like if I wanted to actually try to make it to the majors in baseball, I knew what it was gonna take, which was just like an insane amount of dedication and
Yeah.
just all the stuff, which was fine, like, but I don't know. At that time, I was young and I was like, there's still stuff I want to explore. Like, like I've been doing
Very
baseball my
true.
whole life. This would literally mean I'm going to do it for the rest of my life now. Like, and I'm never going to try to do anything else. I would have been a completely different person. So, yeah, I just kind of had like that epiphany moment around like 18, I want to say, and was like, if I'm gonna try something else, I gotta try it now. And like it was me being in my mind, I was like, I'm in Music City for Nashville, you know what I mean? I was like, I could really like, throw a lot into it, yada yada. I'm in the right place kind of thing or
Yes.
whatever. So yeah, I took that shot. And honestly, like when I first decided that part, I didn't know what I was gonna do. I just knew that I wanted to be involved with music. So like honestly, like the first thing that I did was like work for stagehand stuff. And I worked for like Crew One and Rhino, and I did like lighting and rigging and all that kind of stuff for like years, and like was just in the background scenes and stuff like that. Um, the drumming kind of was like all in there in the mix. It was just something that I was doing as a hobby. When I was a little younger, I did actually drum in my church for a while, but it was just kind of like a side thing. Um, but yeah, this was just like after high school and stuff, just music in general was just, becoming just such a part of my life. I just knew I wanted to do something in music. That was it. I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I didn't know. Literally, I had no idea. Like I was like, I know I like to rap. I know I like my vocals. Like that's kind of a direction, but like I gotta figure out people to meet or just, I just knew I had to start getting connected and stuff. So yeah, I really just started morphing around a bunch of different jobs involving music. Eventually I went to school though in Nashville at SAE, which is School of Audio Engineering.
Okay. What do y'all think of this interview so far? I had a lot of fun chatting with TJ. But Hunter, as you're listening to this, is there anything that stands out to you? You're like, oh, I didn't know that, or that's news to me.
No, it's just sometimes it's cool to hear TJ talk about his hip hop side of things because I obviously don't hear that or see that side of things very much. But yeah, it's pretty cool to hear that. He's a super talented dude all around musically.
Yeah. Well, let's play a newer track by Dublink. This one is called Commander. Um, Give me the deets, Hunter.
This one's gonna be coming out relatively soon. I believe it's still coming out with Abysmal Entities. Um, yeah, it's a really good tune.
All right, let's go. That was an unreleased track by Dublink called Commander. That was a good one. I like that one. Good times.
This is a big tune.
Big tune. Yeah, so for those of you who are hanging out and haven't entered the contest yet, we're going to be closing that about 8 o'clock and then announcing it about 8:30. So any of your friends you saw that entered and is not listening, text them to tune in. If you are listening and haven't entered, you should probably go enter. Uh, yeah, it's a pretty big prize and package. So I really hope people take advantage of it. Well, should we get back to this interview?
Let's do it. Let's hear what else TJ has to say.
Yeah.
Um, I did 2 semesters there and then unfortunately wasn't able to finish completely just because I lived like kind of where I live now, which is about 30 minutes away from the school.
Mm.
So essentially, long story short, lab hours that you have to get for credits, like in college, just normal college stuff. My lab hours were clocking in hours at the studios, the music studios that were at the school. So my whole dilemma was I would go to my classes for like 6 hours and then I wouldn't want to keep staying at school because I was kind of burnt out, I didn't have a lot of gas or money at the time. So like I was in this weird dilemma where it's like I go home and then I don't come back until tomorrow. And I just
Yeah.
essentially ended up slipping on like my lab hours and actually just being at the school in the lab hour and like clocking those in. And that actually ended up like accounting for a lot of my grades, which just kind of, yeah, ended up making it to where I couldn't finish. But I will say, I mean, that was kind of the catalyst to get me to where I am now. Because when I went to that school, I had nothing. And that school actually gave me like a MacBook. They gave me Pro Tools. I did get to take some classes to learn some stuff. And I did good. Like, honestly, like I passed all my classes, quizzes, homework. I was doing, like I understood all the criteria when it came to all the audio. It was just literally physically being at the school was the thing that really
Yeah.
ultimately killed me. But like I said, I got some really awesome tools. Uh Ultimately ended up with Logic X Pro, which is a program that a lot of producers I'm sure know that a lot of beat makers and just audio producers use and stuff. That's where I started just kind of making hip hop beats and stuff. I wasn't even making electronic at this point. I don't even think I was really into it too much. Maybe just kind of heard about it and stuff at this point. Um, and yeah, I just kind of got familiar with that program. And I would say maybe was in that program for just a few years. And then had a friend introduce me to Ableton a few years later after that, and I was kind of scared to switch over to it at first, because I was getting so comfortable with the one that I was really figuring out, but eventually just kind of bit the bullet and decided to. And at that point, it just really kind of opened my eyes to like real audio production in a whole nother way that I hadn't seen, like, leading up and to that point and whatnot. So yeah, and I think that also that moment kind of coincided with me really starting to fall in love with uh electronic music and dubstep in particular, and like underground dubstep, kind of all those people that I was naming earlier, Salty and Smith and those kind of people in their early years. Boogie T was even a big one, I want to say, like,
Yes.
that put me on to like just kind of wubs in general. I was obsessed with wubs and, being a producer at that time and hearing that, even now, I mean, I would say his production is like eons above what I could do, and back then it even was too, even so much more then and stuff. So yeah, shouts out to Boogie T, man. He's fucking amazing.
He goes down. He definitely has diversity in
Yeah,
what he
what he's
does.
been doing like lately, like with the guitar stuff too, is just a whole nother avenue, which I
Yeah.
would really, really love to like incorporate with my stuff eventually is just kind of like the live aspect and like live sound and stuff like that, and maybe have a live band or whatnot. So
I love it. I love it when projects do the live band. Who else did it? Mr. Carmack did it.
yeah, I
Um,
think G Space is doing it right now. I want to
oh,
say,
nice.
I think so, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah,
You
I
know,
saw some
I
video.
think you're right. I think I did see that somewhere, but it seems so like left field to me that I like kind of skimmed over it. But now that you're saying it, I think you are right. I did see that
Yeah, I can't
somewhere.
remember. It's another. He's doing it with another really big artist, and I'm sorry, I can't remember like who that is right now. But
Uh, okay. So let's talk a little bit about your upcoming shows. You do have something you're working on for the very near future, a little mini Midwest tour. Um, how are you feeling? Are you excited? What's the process been like getting ready for it?
yeah, definitely excited, definitely nervous. I'm just nervous before all shows in general, but yeah, this one definitely feels special just because we're like doing this whole back to back to back type thing or whatever. Yeah, I guess also too, like, I'm sure this is like a question that some people have had, and I'll just kind of like clear up a little bit like briefly before diving into like the shows. Because I know, like, I'm sure some people have noticed like on some of the flyers it's just been me on there, and even now like the interview is just me. And so people, I've had some friends ask me like, well, what's going on with Evan, or like what's up with the project and stuff. And so like I don't know, the way we've kind of like decided is Evan's always going to be involved in the project and with the project, but right now he's just been, and for a while I would say he's just been kind of focusing on himself and like a lot of family stuff, and he's just been going through quite a lot the past like year, I would say. Um, so yeah, I mean he's got a giant family. Evan has 9 brothers and sisters in total.
Oh my
So
gosh.
yeah, so basically it's kind of like, almost every weekend he's busy with, doing stuff with them, which, by all means, like if I had anything with my family, I'd be doing it too and stuff. And I think there was just kind of a moment where a lot was going on. And like I said, some personal stuff too that, I would let him like expound upon on and stuff. But yeah, for the moment, like, we're fine. Like we keep in contact and stuff. And it's just kind of like a thing where it's like we'll keep it afloat. We look at other, artists that do stuff like this, maybe like Truth, for example, where, sometimes you see a post by Truth and it's just kind of Tristan on the flyer. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
then sometimes it's just Dre because it's just going to be Dre or just Tristan at their shows. So we kind of figured like we'll just model it after that. And, that kind of gives both of us the freedom to take the time to do what we need if that needs to happen or whatever. And so that kind of did need to happen with Evan. He just needed to take time for what he needed and stuff.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so I was just like, yeah, it's no worries at all. Like, and like I said, he'll still be here and stuff, and we'll figure out the right time to reconvene and figure it all back out. So yeah, for this time and for the foreseeable future, I've just kind of taken a hold of the ship, and me and Hunter have just kind of been planning out some stuff for the rest of the year and how to go about it and whatnot. So that's kind of been the deal with all that. Just kind
Yeah.
of like, clear up a little bit, but you know.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for sharing. It's one of those things I'm like careful to ask around, but also it like you said, it's not uncommon for a project to have people take on different roles at different points in time. I know even with the publication with Jenna and I, we both have times where we kind of lean on the other one to kind of hold a little bit more weight. And two, with electronic music, I think there's a so much of the work also goes into, well, the making of it, right? And
Oh yeah.
the live, not live, the tour performance aspect is really only like the tip of the iceberg. um yeah, so
Yeah, there's definitely always so much going on in the background and stuff, and I'll kind of figure out what gyms and whatnot I'll be able to to share or whatever like throughout this and whatnot as far as
yeah,
like music or other stuff that's going on. But that's one that I know that Evan wouldn't mind me sharing and stuff as our conversations that we've had and stuff like that. And like I said, there's nothing crazy going on. It's just, yeah, kind of one of those things where we have the freedom to do what we've wanted to do. And we've even talked about eventually, both releasing like our own solo projects just to even give ourselves more platform,
yeah,
in the listeners to kind of like expand into like what really goes on in the mind of just the doubling project. So then, you'll be able to dive into each person individually and stuff. So, and
yeah.
that'll be, something else when the time is right, we'll unveil that and bring everybody in on. So,
Exciting.
yeah.
Exciting stuff.
Okay. Yeah, so awesome of TJ to, share the kind of ins and outs of what's going on with Dublink with us. It's really awesome and kind of special to kind of be the platform you get to do that on. So, TJ, thank you for sharing with us. Yeah, about what's going on. That's awesome. Hunter, what are you thinking?
Oh, we're gonna play Lethal, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
This is an older Dublink tune, but it's a Deep Dark and Dangerous Bandcamp subscriber exclusive. I definitely recommend subscribing. DDD does a really good thing. They pay artists ahead of time for the tracks. They really support the underground with this series. So yeah, this is a Bandcamp exclusive.
Yes. Okay, so tell me what makes it exclusive. Like, what makes it a Bandcamp exclusive?
You have to subscribe to DDD's
Okay.
page, which is $12 a month. But in my opinion, the DDD subscriber tunes are some of my favorite.
And it's the only place you can access these.
So you can hear some of them, like a clip of the song, maybe like a minute and a half on SoundCloud. But the full tune, you can get a full download. You get to own the track. But yeah, it's $12 a month.
That's cool.
Totally worth it.
That's really cool.
Yeah. I've been subscribing for probably a year, maybe.
Yeah, I need to do that. Maybe I'll just get Perfect Harmony to subscribe and we'll write it off in our taxes.
Yeah, there you
go. Let's play Lethal. Yes, that was the Deep, Dark, and Dangerous exclusive reach. What was I trying to say? Where did reach come from? Exclusive drop? I don't know. That song is called Lethal. Well, it is pretty darn close to 8 o'clock. So I think we should close the contest and announce the first winner. Now, we say first winner. Sorry, let me explain how this is going to go. We have put a random number between 1 and 500 into a random number generator. We then let it generate and found the person who commented with the number closest to that number. They're going to have about 10 minutes to jump in the Discord chat if they're not already here and claim their prize. So you are more than welcome to, if you know the person, text them, whatever, encourage them to get in there. Or you can play dirty and not do that. And then after 10 minutes, if they don't claim it, we will pick the next closest number. So yeah, let's go. Hunter, do you want to tell us what the number we drew was and who our first commenter at the closest number is?
Yep, so we drew number 445, and drum roll. The winner is Nicole Bezinen. I don't know if I said your last name right. I apologize, Nicole, but you are the best. I'm really glad that you won. She's a really supportive person in the community. She killed it out at Bass Ribbon.
She did. So yeah, she not only helped put on the festival with the ID team, she also did the Female Ravers United booth. Double duty. I could barely just do the radio show the whole time. So props to her. Nicole, you have about 10 minutes to comment. Jump into our Discord, let us know that you're here and that you want the tickets, and let's get back to this interview with TJ. We are on to part 2.
Okay, TJ, so you're doing 3 stops. Is it the Iowa one that comes first, and then Eau Claire, and then Minneapolis? Is that the correct order?
I believe so. I just had a poster here.
You're like, I don't know, I'm just doing 3 and they're happening and they're gonna go good.
Yeah, so 817 Reboot Social Wisconsin, I believe.
Yeah, so I know obviously Minneapolis is not a debut city for you. But have you played in Eau Claire or Wisconsin before? And I know Iowa is a debut. So I guess let's talk about Wisconsin.
No, yeah. So Wisconsin will be a debut. That will be with, I believe the artist is DD is his name.
Yes.
And then there's some open decks. Me and DD will be doing a small back-to-back after my set as well, which will be exciting. So yeah, I believe the open decks right now are still open for anybody, I guess, listening to this that wants to still sign up. I believe they are. You'll have to double check. I'm sure if you go to any of my socials or Hunter's, you'll be able to find a link for that.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm excited for this one. What was that? I'm sorry.
Have you ever been to Eau Claire?
No, I've not. I'm trying to think. If I've been to Wisconsin, I only passed through. I don't think I've actually stopped in Wisconsin to like check it out and like see the scene and whatnot.
I I think Eau Claire is a fun little first taste of Wisconsin. I might be biased because I have quite a few friends there from the like jam band bluegrass scene, but
Okay.
oh, it's a good little time. It's
Okay.
yeah, you're gonna have a good time there. I honestly wish I could make all three shows. Like if I could just like
Yeah, so Hunter is really the mastermind behind this little tour, which
yeah.
we kind of had like the idea to do something like this. It was just kind of crazy that it was actually able to come through. And we had a few options of people to hit up in a few different states. So yeah, it was just cool that it actually was able to work out and stuff. So
Yeah, have you done a show run like this before?
no, we've done a back to back before where was it? Oh, we were in Minneapolis for I want to say the Mytham show whenever we came out and did that. We
Yep.
opened up for Mytham at the Rim 5. I want to say it was the next day or possibly the day even after that. We had to fly down to Pensacola, Florida and do a show.
Whew.
Yeah, and that was pretty tiring. We were definitely exhausted for that, but that was a really really fun show too, out in Pensacola. I can't remember the name of that place, but man, that was definitely a memorable show. I remember for that show specifically, a funny little side story is we had a so whenever we do like headlining shows, or at least a lot of the time, we have like a set more or less kind of planned out. Like we'll have one actually that is fully planned out, then we'll have one that's more or less kind of planned out, and then we just kind of have playlists if we just want to go rogue. And if we're gonna headline, a lot of the times we want to play like the ones that we more or less kind of know, just because we realize the crowd's there for us. We want to make sure we play a good show. We don't want to mess anything up, like yada yada. So I it just happens though sometimes, like we'll just kind of feel it. And I remember Pensacola, maybe it was the first time this happened. We just kind of were like feeling it. And just 5 minutes before we were supposed to go up front of the stage, there was a good amount of people there too. Me and Evan just kind of looked at each other and we were like, let's just freestyle the whole set. Let's just scrap the whole planned out thing that we're doing and just freestyle it. And we actually ended up doing that. And I think we ended up just more or less playing like an all original set. It really just it went crazy that night. It really and it just kind of, I don't know, reopened up our eyes to a lot of stuff, like when it comes to the shows and stuff like that, and connecting with the crowd. That was a special one for sure.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. Kind of testing your limits a little bit there too. Like,
Yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
can all these elements come together and it still be a good show and a good time? That's cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
It definitely felt like a magic moment.
what kind of set are you planning for this show run? Are these shows going to be of similar tempo and vibe, or are you going to be switching it up? Or are you going to plan them, go rogue? What are you thinking?
Yeah, to be honest, like I haven't put like the most thought into it, which is probably crazy to say because the shows are coming up in like 2 weeks. I mean, the one thing I do know is I've been working on a ton of music. So I think as of right now, I have 13 fully done unreleased songs that are already have plans to be released. That might actually be shorter now because I think one or two of those has been released. So maybe it's around like 12 or 11. And then I've just recently, I want to say, put out around, I don't know, maybe around like six or so. So like the first half of this year was pretty slow as far as show wise, I would say, which is
Hmm.
fine. Like because I have a full daytime job, so whenever shows are slow, it's not the biggest deal. And to be honest, whenever those times happen, like that's a good time for me to do what I was able to do, which is just get in the studio and try to make a bunch of really new good music for when shows do come around. And the start of these three shows, this little Midwest run, is kind of kicking off the second end of this year for a
Yeah.
lot of really good shows that are to come. Some that we can talk about, and then some that I don't think I can announce quite yet. But there's definitely like, yeah, just plenty of shows to go around for the rest of the year, but and plenty of new music to be debuted for that, because like I said, the first half of the year was kind of for that. So
Yes. Yeah,
yeah.
that's kind of how winters and summers in Minnesota feel. It's like summer you're going other places and going to a lot of shows and stuff, and then winter we're kind of like laying low, perfecting the craft so that
Yep.
when that summer does come around,
Yeah.
it's you're sending it full force.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Uh so what other questions do I have for you? Oh, I think this is actually a very, very crucial one. What is your preferred types of taco?
Hmm. Um, I'd say shredded chicken. And I'll do like loaded. I like street tacos. So like
Ooh, good. Yeah.
I'm I mean, I'm sure this is like prevalent in a lot of other like cities too, but like whenever you can find like essentially like, a little Mexico kind of haven where there's like a lot of like really good Mexican shops and like taco shops or something where like they don't speak English. There's a lot of those here in like the small towns in Tennessee and Nashville and stuff. And like if you can find the right ones, there's some really, really good taco spots. There's one specifically that's really close to my work. It's just called Mini Mart. And like they just do like little street homemade tacos and stuff with chicken. And those are probably my favorite tacos I've ever had.
Have you ever had Minnesota tacos?
Whoa, okay, what's a Minnesota
I,
taco?
yeah, probably incomparable to anything you're gonna get down south.
Really? Okay. Okay, wait.
Uh,
I will say there is this one taco. Oh, I think it's called a burrito taco, and it's like a fried taco. It's like they take like almost like a street taco, like a regular like soft one, but then they like I don't know if they deep fry it or they just fry the outside of
ooh,
it to where it's like crispy, but then it's also still like soft, kind of like a street taco. I've had those before and they're really good.
ooh, that sounds really good.
I can do like carne asada, stuff like that, like those kind of tacos and lamb. I've had lamb tacos, those are really good. So yeah. I like I'm not shy to really any kind of foods. I'm open to trying everything and yeah, I don't shy away from too much about food, seafoods or literally whatever. I'll
Yeah.
try anything. That's another one, fish tacos. I love fish tacos.
Ooh, yep.
Like a good mahi taco is like amazing.
What did you think when we had the idea for having tacos with the contest winner?
Oh yeah, I thought it was dope. I was like, that's a good idea. I haven't been able to do something like that. I've definitely met some fans, like before shows or after, stuff like that, and like ran into some people. This would be really cool to have somebody come and just kind of hang out and talk with me and Hunter and you know just kind of vibe with somebody. And I'm really excited into connecting with my fan base more and stuff because I feel like that's something that I've been kind of lacking on, which is just due to like, I don't know, like personality. Like it's weird, like I'm a very kind of both type person. For anybody that like reads into like the astrology, I'm a Libra. So I'm all about the balance. So like I can be outgoing, but then I'm also like shy at times and stuff like that. Or just it depends on situations and stuff. And yeah, and just the whole balance aspect is kind of been like the whole driving force of my entire life, I'd say. It's kind of funny, but yeah, more I'm definitely excited to meet up with somebody and kick it and just get to know some people and stuff like that. I think it's a great idea.
Hell yeah. So you're talking to a fellow Libra. So
Nice.
it
Let's
makes
go.
it makes sense that you were excited by it because I was really excited by it.
Yeah, no, I was for sure. That's awesome.
And I think yeah, I don't know. It'll be a good time. I think it'll be a good
Oh yeah.
time. And one of our listeners tonight will be winning that along with, okay, so use the 5 panel hat.
All right, I'm just gonna cut myself off right there because Our winner jumped in the Discord chat. She has claimed her prize. Nicole! Thank you so much for all you do for our community, all the support you show Perfect Harmony, and for entering this contest. We have a pretty big old prize for you.
Yeah, Nicole, I'm super glad that you're the winner for sure.
Yes, it's gonna be such a good time. Yeah, so we will make sure that you and Hunter are in contact and we'll make
Yep.
sure that you're on that list. We'll figure out your dietary restrictions so we can get the right type of tacos. And yeah, you'll get a signed poster. And I'm actually just gonna jump right back to the interview because TJ goes on to tell us a little bit more about the hat that you will also be winning. Sweet. Anything, Hunter?
No, let's do it.
That is also being given away.
Mhm.
You had said it's not released yet. So this is just like a sample run. Like this is like kind of a limited edition in a sense.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's like there's only well, there could be more made by the time the show run kind of happens. I don't know
Oof.
what all Hunter has planned. So Hunter just has a website that he's been using to make these as of right now until we can figure out just a more stable thing, or we could potentially just stay with this website and just invest into making more of a limited run, which I think is probably what we're gonna do for this first quote unquote limited run. But he made one before our show at the Black Box, and then he came out to that, and he had brought that with him along with a few other pieces of merch, and we were all just really hyped on it. So yeah, we thought that would be a good piece to put in the giveaway and stuff. So yeah, as far as I know, as of now, Hunter has one, and then this other one that's being given away was the only other one as of right now.
As
So
of right now. Oh, that's cool.
yeah,
That's cool. Those are
yeah.
fun hats.
Yeah. I'm really honestly hoping he got two of them. That way I get one too. Because I've been telling him, I was like, dude, I need one of those. Like, I'm sure
TJ's like,
I'm
I don't even have a hat. It's so
no, for real.
limited.
We've made just some random pieces of merch. Like, so I have a merch thing like posted on through my link. And it's through a website called Spring. They're a little pricey. I've bought a few items from them. The quality's not horrible, but it's also not the greatest and stuff. But it's just kind of something up there in case any fans out there actually do really just want to buy something just to have some type of Dublink merch. And that
Yeah.
does support us, by the way. If anybody does buy from Spring, we get a percentage at least of that. It's not great, but I mean, it's like I said, it's basically just something for now. The more the shows that we do, and the more music we release, and just kind of the more this all snowballs, hopefully the more that we'll all be able to invest in things like merch in the future and stuff for everybody and stuff, because that's definitely a big aspect that we know that we're slacking on, and that we need to kind of just put with the rest of the ordeal. Stickers as well, that's a big one as well. We
Oh
haven't.
yeah.
I apologize to anyone and everyone that's asked me for a sticker because I never have one. And then they always have one to give me. And I'm just like, dude, we don't have slaps. And then people always look at me like, how do you not have slaps? Like, you can go on Amazon. I'm like, I know. We're slacking. Like, so
All right, Hunter, if you're listening to this, stickers before mid-August.
yeah, right. Yeah.
I the event I went to at First Ave, the legalization event, I seriously went in there and I was like, I'm looking to get a THC drink and a bunch of free stickers. And
Yeah.
that is what I walked out of there with.
Well, that's all. I'm obsessed with stickers. I have a huge collection here. I don't know what
Okay.
I'm gonna use them for, put them on. I keep collecting them. So
So you're a sticker hoarder. You don't
yeah,
like
for sure. I
uh
do have like a little mini fridge right here in the studio next to me, and it's completely covered with. It's basically from all my extra stickers or drink beer related stickers type stuff. I put it on this, but I have I have a hoard of a whole nother bunch of just all kinds of stickers. So I'm waiting for the right thing to put them on.
same. I feel that. I'll have to see if I can find you some Perfect Harmony stickers. We've been kind of running low, but Um, we're gonna do a rebrand in the near future, so they're gonna be like done style. But
Right.
yeah, I cover everything. I'm actually just like sitting here and I'm like looking around and like I have a bunch of stuff just covered in stickers.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, hell yeah, yeah. Let's get those Dublink stickers because those would be a treat.
Yeah, that's definitely something we're gonna get on soon. Like I said, the merch, the stickers, kind of all the side stuff. Now that we feel like we're at a pretty good spot with like the shows. They come in enough essentially and stuff, and I'm just being kind of at a good pace with the music as well. So we figured as long as those two things just stay afloat, we can slowly start focusing on some of these other aspects, like we said, some of the side quests, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, I think what is all that those side quests without the music, without the quality content kind of behind it.
Yeah, I would say like for sure merch and like I guess like mer- yeah, for me personally, and I guess the project merch, and then I'm really wanting to maybe start getting into sound packs, maybe
Nice.
lessons, and just kind of other ventures. Like one thing that I've floated the idea for is maybe trying to start looking into like scoring for like video games and movies
Cool.
or stuff like that. And that's just kind of like I said, like a personal side quest venture that I've been like pondering and stuff. That's just more or less a matter of time. Like when I'll actually have
Yeah.
time to do it, because again, yeah, like I work a pretty strenuous job throughout the week, whatnot. So
What is your day
but
job?
so I work at a place called Kermit Chair Company, and I make like wooden camping chairs.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And so I would kind of label myself there as like a production specialist. So I just kind of help oversee like all the background production work of the actual chairs kind of getting made and whatnot. More specifically like the dipping process, like whenever they get so it's like oak and walnut pieces, and then we dip them in like polyester with a mixture of some other stuff and whatnot.
Hmm.
So yeah, they're really, really nice. Yeah, anybody can go check those out. KermitChairCompany.com.
We'll throw the
little,
link in the Discord chat.
yeah, little shameless plug right there. They're really nice. They're pricey, I will say. Like they're not cheap. So I mean, but they're worth it. And I don't want to fully quote this, but I know you get a pretty good warranty. So, like, as far as like if something breaks on it, you can just send it to us and stuff like that. Especially if you mention me, like, we'll help you out stuff. I'm sure if
Listen,
somebody gets if somebody here buys a chair and something happens to it and you guys send it in and my name's on it, they're just gonna make me fix it and stuff. So I mean, you'll just be giving me work to do during the day, which is fine. I mean,
oh, so I heard about this chair on a radio show, like when they fill out the survey of
yeah,
how did
right.
you find out
Yeah.
about us?
Yeah. I will
Uh,
say one cool thing to note about that we just did with that company is we just recently did a collab with Supreme.
oh, cool.
Yeah, so if you go to Supreme's website, I think it was for their summer thing, which I'm sure they're maybe kind of getting closer to fall now, but you might be able to still find it on their website. But if you go to Supreme, we were listed on there. We just made the chairs and then they did a fabric for the
Oh,
chair
cool.
itself. Yeah.
A man of
So
many talents. That's pretty awesome.
yeah, it's pretty fun. Like I said, I'm woodworking during the day, and then I come home and make weird noises at night, and then occasionally get to go to some cool cities and meet some really cool people and play loud music. So really can't complain at the moment.
No, you can't. So let's talk about some of the recent music that you've released. Yeah, you've been popping them out. What's your most recent one?
Hold up real quick. I want to say the most recent is the Spectre collab. The Spectre collab came out 14 days ago. That was on Rewind 140. Um, yeah, shout out to Spectre. sent me some stems a while ago now for that. And the tune was more or less done in my eyes, but he had brought up a good point, which was like, he's like, I know it's a really good tune and it's basically done. He's like, but I know it would just be even that much better just to have, someone like you on it. And I kind of like thought about that too, which, I should probably honestly do more or less is hold on to some good songs that I think are in my eyes done, but then maybe try to throw it out for a collab to even kind of make it that much better because I think the way this tune came out kind of signifies that and kind of shows that where it does almost sound like it's a tune that's already done and then you had somebody else come on just to even kind of give it that last little like that thing on it or whatever. So
What a great perspective.
yeah.
So, when you collab with other artists, is that usually the flow? Someone, I guess, yeah, do you find people reaching out to you more? Do you reach out to them more? How do you kind of get those, yeah, kind of like professional relationships going?
I'd say it's like it goes through waves. Like sometimes I'm reaching out, sometimes I'm going through waves where I just got a lot of people reaching out to me. And then like so for instance, like at one point I think I had like 6 collabs just kind of in the works and it was all from stuff that people had sent me. So at that point, I'm trying to like be fair to everybody to get these collabs back in a certain amount of time, which is honestly hard. Like, I'll probably honestly stop doing that, which is like just taking on so many collabs at one time
Mm,
because I just trying to find energy and actually get in the rhythm to get into some of these songs. And nothing against like the song itself. It's just like actual finding the actual energy to even like get into it. It wouldn't even be like just to get into the making that song, making any song kind of at that point, and then just kind of time passes on and yada yada and whatnot. But so yeah, I mean it just kind of it comes in waves and then if I'm kind of clear in my books as far as music wise like collabs or something there might be that time when I'm like ooh like I've always been thinking like it would be cool to have a collab with like this person. This would be a good time to like uh to make a song and like send it to them because in my eyes too.
Well, I missed the perfect moment to slide in that Spectre and Dublink track for y'all. But I have it now, and we will play it. Um, Hunter, let's talk about this one.
Yeah, this is a big tune. These boys have been holding on to it for a little while, and we found the right home. Tyler, No Remorse, actually had the idea of sending it to Rewind 140, which is a very respected label.
Nice.
They're the homies for sure. Um, yeah, Spectre and Dublink made a huge tune, and I'm actually bringing Spectre on to Deep Focus. I'm announcing that tomorrow, so let's listen to this one.
Whoa, casual slip in there. We'll come back to that. Let's hear this track. All right, that was Backhand with Spectre and Dublink. So right before we played that song, you just so casually slipped into conversation that you have taken Spectre on. Dope. Sweet. Tell us more about him. Where's he from? Why you like him? Why should we like him?
Yeah, actually, I mean, taking it all the way back to when I was with Lone High, I released one of Spectre's tunes. I noticed a song that he made with Widow. Widow was giving him some support. But we've been talking for a really long time. He actually lives out in Virginia, right near, he's local to No Remorse.
Oh,
So
okay.
those two live in the same area. But yeah, I just see a lot in the Spectre project, and we talk all the time anyway. So I mean, might as well just make it a thing.
Yeah.
We've been talking about
Make it
it for
official.
yeah, we've been
Put
talking
a ring
about
on
it.
it.
Yeah, but I mean, he's got a lot of good music coming out, and he has a DDD Bandcamp subscriber track. I'm trying to think. He just released that tune in Dublin, so I mean, he has some good label releases, and definitely a bright future.
Hell
He's
yeah.
played some really big shows. Like he just opened up for I think it was like Melodic and Vale, and then Ganja White Night for their big Coliseum shows, like a
Oh,
day
cool.
party or pre-party type of
Nice.
thing. But he's on the official flyer, so I mean, he's doing his thing.
Oh, that's really exciting. How many artists does that put you at now?
That'd be four.
Four. Hell yeah. Um, can you handle four?
Oh yeah.
You got it? Hell yeah, I have no doubt in you. Let's get back to TJ and what he was saying. Sorry I cut you off there. Um, but yeah, let's hear.
I'm at least for me, I'm big on like creating music and sounds like they are more or less kind of cultivated for a certain thing, whether that be like an artist or whether that be a label. So like if I make like a certain batch of songs or something, like I might be making those songs with Deep Dark Dangerous in mind. And so like when I'm creating those songs, or even before that, like if I go into those songs thinking I'm creating these for Deep Dark Dangerous, I'm more likely in my mind to make something that they're actually gonna like. And that kind of goes the same with other artists that I want to collab with. So yeah, like anybody that I could think of, like, I'm like, well, let me try to make a song that's my style still, but something that's actually going to pique their interest that they would want to collab on because maybe it kind of sounds like their kind of style almost, if that makes sense. So,
Yeah, yeah. Um, what do you have any like songs or tracks coming out soon that you're looking forward to?
oh yeah, there's definitely a whole lot coming out.
Anything you can share with us?
Yeah. So let's see. One thing I've kind of been teasing and kind of been putting out there is I'm inching towards 3,000 followers on SoundCloud. Um, and I haven't actually done like an official like announcement on socials yet. So I guess I'll do that now, and then I'll definitely
Yeah.
still make a social announcement at some point. But yeah, I mean, I've already kind of told people that there is a 3K EP coming. Um, so I would say this EP in particular is one of the ones that I'm probably most proud of. Like in the past, I would say like half year when it comes to like some of the music I've been making. So it's 4 tracks long, and all of these tracks, well, no, not all of them. I would say two of them at least, maybe even three of them are over like 6 months old. So, and I've been working on these tunes for a long time, and just I've been basically holding on to these ones because I knew they were special. One of them I actually shopped over to Wakan and they liked it, but they actually were asked, they wanted me to send in an EP because they said they wanted me to kind of tell a story, and then they said that they would take more of a look into that. And I think that they just said that they don't typically do a lot of singles is the whole ordeal.
Ah,
But just to even kind of get a response from them was awesome. Which also shout out to Wakan because they just added Mine Inspector's collab onto their Spotify playlist. I
nice.
don't know what that playlist is called off the top of my head, but yeah, so yeah, big shout out to them and stuff. So yeah, one of those tunes, like, I chopped to them, and I think maybe even a couple other labels. So yeah, more or less just this 3K EP has some really, really special near and dear tunes to my heart. Yeah, I'm really excited for it. It's another thing too with this EP that this is gonna be kind of the first time of kind of putting everything on the line essentially with an EP. So we're going as far as to like getting like really professional artwork done. Um uh, Currently right now they're being mastered by a really well-known and popular mastering engineer like in the scene and stuff that a lot of people would be familiar with. Which all this just kind of costs money. Uh as far as like marketing, we'll be doing a lot of marketing for this. We would love to maybe even put merch behind this EP and stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
We're just kind of really throwing all the books at this EP to really promote it and put it out there just because of the stature of how much time and energy was put into actually creating these tunes. The other big thing that we were going to try to do, which I'm sad to say we don't really have enough time or money to do, is I was wanting to press this 3K EP into a vinyl and do a limited release, 20 to 30 run release of a vinyl press.
Oh, cool.
I wasn't, like I said, money and time. I just wasn't necessarily able to make that happen for this one, but I will say definitely stay tuned because that's something that we're gonna want to try to make happen for something else in the future. But more, at the end of the day, more or less, this 3K EP is definitely gonna be something big. Um, and I'll probably drop another free release download as another part to this 3K or Road to 3K series that I did. So I released a tune 16 days ago with Liquid. It's called Ghost Fountain, and it's a free download, or you can donate on Bandcamp, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
And so yeah, that kind of kicked off the whole that was when I was at 2,900 followers flat. So I was just 100 away from 3K. So at that point I kind of started this whole little road to 3K series thing. It's just going to be a two-part series. So it's just that liquid one, and then I have another one that's already ready that'll probably be released in the next week or so for everybody. And then the 3K EP will be the thing to come after that once we actually hit 3K and stuff. So
Okay, well, you are officially one person closer to that 3K goal, and
hey, hell
hope
yeah.
hopefully our listeners go kind of do that same. That's really cool to kind of have something you're working towards that's like tangible, you know? It's like a goal that's in sight and you're like, yeah, preparing for it and able to like reach it. It's just like right there.
Yeah, I think just as everything grows and that I see more people receptive to the music and the sound, the more I want to take each project a little more serious, and just put a little more thought into them and stuff. I would love eventually to do an album at some point, obviously, and get into that. And also really try to start putting more into the shows. As far as, maybe visuals and stuff like that, and getting some people to do some customized visuals for sets and whatnot. That'll be a big thing that we're gonna try to start looking into as everything just progresses. So
Wow, there's a lot of things on the horizon for you and this project. That's really exciting to hear that it's blossoming as such.
yeah, it's been one big snowball and it just really hasn't stopped, honestly.
Well, any other things you want to share with our listeners? Just I don't know, any closing thoughts for him tonight?
Let me think. Um, 3K EP. I could probably go ahead and give this one out now. So come Monday on August 7th, which is next Monday, there's gonna be announcement coming from Dublink, uh, involving us and an EP that we'll be doing with them.
Okay,
Um,
cool.
yeah, I'm not exactly sure on the release date yet. They might have that information on Monday. I'm not exactly sure what all they have planned to fully release on Monday. I want to say that there's going to be some music coming out next week that involves that, like some clips, show reels possibly and stuff like that, and then just more info and all that. So that's really definitely another big one that we're excited for. Duplock is a massive label that I'm just, really humbled to even be working with. Um so yeah, that's definitely going to be a big one that will be coming out towards the second half of this year as well. So shouts
Nice.
out to Dublock.
Exciting. That's huge.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely lots of stuff going on this side, music wise and in the background and whatnot. Yeah. I could give out one more another aspect.
Yes.
I
Hit us with the
don't
leaks.
I'm trying to think if there's any more music ones I can check out. No, that might be it for the music. Oh, but there's another leak that we can give, and this will be posted on our socials soon. So, um, we brought on a new booking agent. Her name is Logan Lettrick. I was about to say Logan Schultz, but she just recently got married. Yeah, her name is Logan Lettrick now. She's a longtime friend of mine. I went to like high school and elementary school with her and stuff. She did some booking in here in Nashville for some electronic artists back in the day, kind of before COVID and just some other bands in general. But just kind of took some time off to herself. But just recently we've been talking and stuff, and we just brought her on as kind of Dublink's in-house booking agent officially. So
Oh yeah, congrats.
yeah, so if anybody wants to reach out to us to just kind of do some more direct booking whatnot, I want to say the email is just doublinkbooking@gmail.com. But I'll actually get that to you at the end of this interview and make sure that that's the right email.
Sweet.
So yeah.
Well, yay. Thanks for taking time to chat with me, TJ. I'm really looking forward to your Minneapolis stop, and we'll be picking a winner for the contest. And yeah, we'll just get more plugged in the scene and making it just one big one.
Yeah, I really appreciate everything you guys do. You guys are you guys are always liking my stuff, sharing, and I know with a lot of other people too. And that's huge for this underground scene and to help us, get to where we want to be and to help our dreams come true is, collectives and people and labels like, you guys and yourself and stuff like that is everything to us. I want to say I could speak for me and a lot of other artists and stuff. So yeah, we appreciate you guys a lot, and all the listeners and everybody donating anything they want and coming out to the shows and just all that stuff. It feels like a fairy tale a lot of the times. It's
Yeah.
crazy. So I try not to take it for granted ever. It feels like a blessing, and yeah, I try to treat it that way. So I really appreciate it.
Thanks. And I agree. Like there's enough there's enough music industry to go around. We just need to
Oh,
work
I agree.
together.
100%. 100.
All right, TJ, have a good rest of your night.
Thanks. All right. You too.
Okay. I actually forgot about TJ's kind words at the end of that. So it was nice to hear back. Yeah. I don't know. What do you think, Hunter? What do you think of the interview? Did we do good? Did we hold up to your expectations?
Yeah, that was really cool to hear and makes me even more excited to do this 3 day run. It's going to be fun to hang out with TJ for 3 days and tour the Midwest.
Yeah. Remind us of the date of those again.
So 8/17, we're at the Reboot Social. Antic Studios crew owns that restaurant in Eau Claire. Then we're going to drive to Des Moines, Stutterbox, and Medicine Place. Invited Dublink down to do a 360 show.
Nice.
And they're bringing in Allegro Audio for the sound. I honestly think it's Medicine Place's last show he'll ever throw. He's not like on the lineup himself, but he teamed up with Stutterbox. But then we go up to St. Paul for the big finale that we just gave the giveaway for. And that's going to be on the Voids.
Yes. Yeah, so we really hope all of y'all can make it. Yeah, come on out. It'll be a good time. The Perfect Harmony crew will be there. Culminate is also helping with this event. So it'll be cool to be working with them again. And yeah, we have one last song for you. It is exactly the one that TJ was talking about there at the end of the interview. But before I play it, I just want to remind y'all that if you want to support Fuzz Talk Radio, Fuzz for giving us this awesome platform to our show and do pretty much whatever we want. Yeah, go show some support to him. He actually just released new Fuzz Talk Radio merchandise. It's actually really cute. It has a little gaming controller on it, and they released it yesterday in honor of legalization in Minnesota. So, go ahead and use support Fuzz in that way. Or if you want to support This Is Perfect Harmony, you can go to our webpage and there's a donate button on the side. Your support keeps us going. We really appreciate it. So Yeah, I think that's all I have. Next week we're gonna have Frog Leg on again. They are talking about their new Uncroaked album release that I think the album dropped last week. And we'll be doing a fun giveaway with them as well. So tune in next week. Yeah, Hunter, thanks for coming. Thanks for doing this with me.
Thank you, Alicia. Big ups for what you do.
We have a lot of fun. We have a ton of fun.
So this last tune is it's an unreleased track that is going to be on the Dublink EP that TJ was talking about. I know there's a little preview coming out on Monday, but here's a full track.